want to say thank you guys so much for joining us on another episode of Attack to Talk. This is season 3, continuing on with episode 15. This is Descent Part 2. This episode we'll go ahead and we'll cover it. We'll split it into 3 parts. Because there's a lot to talk about, of course. This is a very important episode. Last week was a very important episode because we finally found out the whole thing and how it all played out with Marco. Poor Marco. And I'm excited to see what the poll results are.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we had a really interesting one, for sure. And also we had an interesting Q&A, and I believe that question was actually brought to us by, was it Kyron?
Yes. I think it was Kyron.
I think Kyron is the one that told us about it. So
thank you, Kyron.
That'd be fun, yeah, for sure, to go ahead and kind of just see what some of you guys said about, like, which warrior do we essentially feel for the most, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, that's a cool question because, again, it's all opinion based for sure, as far as like how we maybe relate to certain characters or what we just feel for those characters, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You guys know, as we're literally just talking about it, we got to go ahead and talk about the poll results in the Q&A, and we will do that at some point, very, very soon. You guys know we'll go and we'll jump into recap, get into the episode, all that good stuff. But as I mentioned, this episode, season 3, episode 15, Descent is, there's a lot to it. You know, as I mentioned, there's the whole Marco dynamic at the start of the episode, and then we're going to cover the whole kind of Bertholdt aspect of it and that mindset. And then next week we'll get into some good stuff about, Bertholdt and Armin and all that.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of cool stuff to cover for sure. Josh says, if Zeke was an option, he'd be...
he's my pick.
His pick, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could have picked Zeke. Because it's just any of the warriors. I know that the image
I think the image you showed was just the 3 of them, and it was particularly one of the scenes from that episode, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why. But Josh, you can tell us right now. You can tell us right now. You can give us your response right now.
Why is it Zeke?
Why Zeke is somebody that you feel that what's specifically the question?
The question specifically was, which member of the warrior squad do you feel sorry for the most?
Yeah, so tell us, why do you feel sorry for Zeke the most? That'd be a...
Yeah, I love
That's an interesting actually choice. That's an interesting choice for sure, because I don't think Zeke's one that a lot of people think about.
Of him as like the war... What is he? The
war chief, yeah.
War chief, yeah. Because you think the war chief, you wouldn't feel sorry for him. Like, oh, he's got it all made. Mm-hmm. But I would love to hear your... Because
in terms of warriors, I mean, let's think about it. The people that we have in mind, right? Obviously, like Jacob is saying right now, Rhina, who's his choice. We have Rhina, we have Bertholdt, we have Annie. We know that for sure, right? But we also have somebody like Zeke. We have someone like Peak.
Yeah.
Right? Do we feel for Peak? I don't know. And then maybe
we have like
even
the Galliard brothers.
Well,
or even like the young.
Like, I feel like, can we throw Ymir's Jaw Titan in there? Or is she not necessarily a warrior? She just kind of like stole it.
I wouldn't define her as a warrior.
Okay.
I don't think I would.
Because I think that if she was an option, then that's a character that a lot of us would feel for.
Yeah.
You know, I think that she might end up kind of stealing the...
What if someone wants to pick like
Marcel?
Oh my God, I always blank on his name.
Porco?
Nope. He's got the coolest Titan now.
The coolest Titan?
Yeah, the jaw. Not Gabi. It's
Oh yeah, Falco.
Falco. Yeah. Like what if someone wanted
right there,
Falco?
literally, yeah, Jacob said Falco.
Yeah, Falco. I feel pretty freaking sorry for Falco.
Yeah. Interesting. Let's get to the response
let's
here.
start the analysis.
Josh says,
all right.
oh, well, Zeke having the burden of his father's ideology placed into him and him thinking that he's the savior and has to see this through no matter what.
Yeah.
He's willing to betray and sacrifice his other warriors just to save the world and see his plan through for Dr. Saver and to prove his father wrong.
Yeah.
As Aaron said, a pathetic man still haunted by his dead father.
Yeah.
Wow. That is really an incredible response for sure. Well, I got to go ahead and just...
Very good. Very good. A+.
I love it, man. I love it.
And then you have Heisa saying, Falco's a badass.
Now, Josh, I want you to give us a reason why we should feel bad for every single...
I want to hear in-depth analysis.
Your devil's advocate.
I want to hear a 1,000-word response in MLA format.
Yeah. And
but
Jacob
thanks for
says,
starting us off so strong.
Yes. Jacob says Falco is a badass. Yeah.
Agreed.
For sure. Yeah, guys, I think we can go ahead and just jump into it for sure.
Yeah,
let's do it.
So ready. We have a lot of responses. So.
I do want to, of course, obviously disclaimer that warning to all of our friends listening who are not caught up or just in general with any kind of topics we cover, because we talked about My Hero earlier. Spoiler warning, of course, to everybody listening. So now, without further ado, as Mac DeMarco plays in the background. Lexi, go ahead and have us continue on. As Josh started the conversation,
yes,
let's continue
in a
on
very
with,
eloquent way.
with the Q&A, right?
Say. Yeah.
So we can go ahead and repeat the question,
Yes.
and then we'll see what the responses are.
All right. So the question once again is, which member of the Warrior Squad do you feel sorry for the most? And we got quite a bit of responses. I'm very excited to read through all of these. We have user the Lily Kate
Alrighty.
says Bertholdt with a sad face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bertholdt.
Yeah. Also, if I read one of your guys' responses and you're joining us here live, I would love to hear your reasoning. Say hi.
Just say hi.
And
Say hi. That was my response.
Yeah, just be like, oh, that was me. And if you want to give your reasoning, we would love to read it.
Oh yeah, for sure. You guys know that we love going over the poll question, going over the Q&A, because we like seeing your guys' point of views. We like seeing it from a different lens. We like seeing, again, just we talk about with My Hero, there's a lot of perspective changes, right? And it really kind of messes with our mind to the point where like, oh shoot, are we starting to feel for certain characters?
Yeah.
And so
is it happening?
For me, if I have a kind of different warrior in mind, I'm going to need you guys to go out there and kind of change my perspective a little bit. But Bertholdt is an interesting one for sure. And again, I would love, Lily, to understand why you feel that way.
I know.
But thank you so much for but thank you so much for the response.
Yeah, thank you for that. Next we have from user Kyler Salameda says Rhina. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can infer
and
why
Jacob
you say
even
Rhina.
says Rhino because he's going through identity crisis.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we talked about it last week. We've talked about it before in early episodes of this podcast, is that Rhino is a character where he's just kind of very much tortured by his own mind. He doesn't know how to differentiate the realities around him because they're all blending.
Yeah.
And so when you go from blending them, thinking that, okay, it's all right, I can go ahead and I can get away with certain things.
Yeah.
Once shit hits the fan and you have to pick and choose where your alliance is.
Especially when it's like life or death situation.
Yes.
Then it's like, dang.
And that's where he is now.
Where's my loyalty?
Having a difficult time kind of coming to grips with where he stands in this whole spectrum that is just the world that he's been living in.
Yeah.
And I mean living in, I mean he pretty much just like I mean, I'm trying to think of the perfect way to say this, but like he went through so much shit just to try to be worthy of being a warrior. He wasn't. He wasn't.
Yeah.
But he was just kind of thrown in there. And then he becomes worthy of being a soldier.
Yeah. And now he's this big shot in the parody world.
Yeah. But Josh kind of even gives some explanation as to why potentially Bertholdt is one who we can go and feel for, because Josh says Bertholdt is sad because he was basically forced to be with the most destructive Titan. Yeah. He basically was forced to be this Titan.
Yeah.
And I think we see from just him as a character where like, and even some of the dialogue last week's episode where it's like Rhina tells him something like, you've been given the most destructive Titan, yet you don't even use it. Right? Something like that. Or you are constantly waiting for someone to tell you to go ahead and use it, right?
He was like, you don't need to wait for like to be told to do something.
Yeah.
You have this power for a reason, use it for your own.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that just goes to show the type of person that Bertholdt is, where he's like, we talked about supporting characters, talking about sidekicks not too long ago. And I think that Bertholdt makes a great supporting character to Rhina. And we're going to see again why when we cover this episode. But thank you so much, Josh, for giving us some more kind of context as to why Bertholdt potentially is somebody that we should go and feel for. And Jacob continues saying that it was satisfying to see Aaron torture Rhina more under the stage. I was like, oh, fuck yes, dude. Yeah, that was a very, very changing of the guard moment for sure. That's when people saying like the fucking reverse Uno card or whatever and stuff, you know?
That was a really cool moment.
Yeah, that was very cool. But also, who was that again who gave us the response to Rhina? Thank you so much for the response.
Yeah, Kyler Salameda.
Kyler, thank you so much for that, Kyler.
Next we have from loyal listener Bobby 7.
Yes, Bobby,
Hello,
who joined us last week. Thank you so much for that again, Bobby. I hope that you're doing well. But what does Bobby have to say?
Hope to see you joining us again soon. Yes. Bobby says, Bertholdt, I felt like he was so undeveloped / hiding deep things.
Wow, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the perspective that Bobby took this because it wasn't like a Bertholdt experience. It was what we as viewers got.
What we got from just from him as a character, you know, it wasn't much. We just know that little things where he obviously is a loyal person. You know, he's always going to be there by Rhina's side, despite Rhina's difficulty to kind of differentiate. Excuse me, the allies, kind of.
Yeah.
But
especially because you could see that he's such a kind person. Like you could tell that he's like an empathetic person, but he's this warrior, man, and he's the most destructive ones.
Yeah, and with him too is like the little things that are even kind of a little comedic with, you know, his crush on Annie and stuff. You know, it's like that'd be cool to go ahead and explore that a little bit more as to why and or even just like, you know, just to go ahead and see how much he cares about his allies and stuff. You know, we see it a little bit, but it'd be cool to go ahead and further explore that.
Displayed through Armin.
Yeah,
Armin gets.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Bertholdt is definitely a very guarded character, and we kind of maybe talked about it a little bit last week, where it's like maybe he's just not saying a whole lot to these other characters in the island of parody because he understands that he's there for a job, he's there for a mission, he's not trying to get close to these people, you know. Whereas that's why we even talked about, like, it would have been, so I think Zach even mentioned, it would have been so cool to go ahead and kind of see Bertholdt in his kind of unapologetic self over in, you know, his home over in Marley, just to see how he was as a person. You know, who knows?
We get to see some more of him, more of how he feels about things today in this episode.
Exactly.
Excited to see that.
Yeah. But Bobby, thank you so much for that response.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby.
That's already more. I'm gonna say more Bertholdt than I anticipated, but yeah, it's cool to see some Bertholdt love.
I know. I'm excited to see that.
Still no
There
Annie.
is a response here that's in 3 different parts, and I'm really excited to read.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I'll read it after this next one from Laker for Life. Hello, loyal listener,
Shout
Laker
out,
for Life.
Laker for Life.
Says, Marco. Oh, how we miss Marco so much. We feel for him so much that he transcends the title of warrior.
Yeah, but I think what it is because unfortunately Marco is associated to the Warriors because of,
especially in the last, like the first half of the episode.
Yes.
That we went through.
And it's because of the unfortunate circumstance of him being paired up with the Warriors.
Yeah,
you know,
he was just in that group and.
But I mean, in terms of just all the characters that we really feel for, I mean, Marco was up there, and I think that it's going to be a great. Laker for Life, thank you so much for that, because that's going to be a great kind of transition for the poll that we have.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So, but yeah, we all very much feel for Marco for sure.
I don't think there was a single person that like wasn't sad when they either found out Marco died or when they actually saw the reason.
When they saw the reasoning, yeah. I mean, when you see that he unexpectedly dies, it's like it's a shock, because you're like, how did this dude die? And once you find out the truth, it's like, oh shit, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, Laker for Life, thank you so much for that. And that's a great way for us to go ahead and kind of segue when we do. But we still have some more responses. And you said you want to get into this 3-parter,
Yes,
huh?
I'm getting into it now. I'm very, very excited.
Okay.
Once again, thank you so much for Laker for Life. Next, we have our 3-parter response, which I'm so excited to read because I love the person that he said. I wasn't even thinking about this, but I love this. I'm excited for you to hear this.
Okay.
This is from Shiny Lorantis.
Hey,
what's up, Lo?
What's up, Lo?
Hello.
Shout out. Hope you're doing well. What does Lo have to say?
Lo says, Marcel Galliard. He got separated from his brother. His Titan power gets given to Rhina, even though he deserved it. His brother dies protecting Rhina, and he gets toyed with fighting Eren. And right before dying, he gets given the memory of his brother, and he doesn't live to see the end at all.
Wait, what you just explained? You said Marcel or Porco?
Oh, Porco.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because Porco's the one that he chose.
Yeah.
And for the reasons you just said, that is very, very true.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was worthy of becoming the Jaw, right? But
yeah,
he went to his brother.
He totally deserved the job, but yeah,
went to his brother
because he was protecting Rhina.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I like that Lo adds that Porco also gets toyed with fighting Eren.
Yeah, that's true. But also, not to mention the fact that Porco is the reason why Eren gets the ability of the Warhammer.
Yeah.
You know, so that's also kind of a little bit of a, you know, that's kind of
another kick in the gut.
Exactly. You know, where you're like, damn it, he used me to go ahead and get to that ability, you know?
He used my ability to steal another ability.
But again, me being a dub watcher, like, it was so cool to see, you know, Kellen Goff expressing those emotions and stuff, because like I really enjoy the tone of his voice. And while Blue is passed out back here,
He's sleeping so weird right now. Oh, if you guys could see this.
Yeah.
So funny. Okay, continue.
But I mean, Kellen did a great job of just expressing Porco as a character, even to the point where like him being surprised to see Peak on all fours was like,
Yeah.
what are you doing on the floor?
What are you doing on the floor?
So shout out to Kellen Goff for sure. But wow, Lo, that is a great response, and I'm so happy you said that too, because Porco's a character where we only see just a small window of, so that was really cool.
Yeah, even the whole like right before dying, then and he doesn't live to see the end, and that's, I didn't even like realize how much Porco suffered.
And that was a very tragic, like, just that whole storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even like for me, thinking about, I think what kind of like gets me to kind of forget about it a little bit is obviously how I feel about Ymir. Mm-hmm. And obviously I think about the moment where Ymir essentially gives herself up and she's there, and I can't help but see that kind of frame where she's kind of like doing the ceremony where she's such she's such a person who has lost so much and she has no more will, right? And then that's when kind of Porco even tells her like you are so unworthy essentially of having this ability and this and that, you're just a waste of a person or something like that, right? And he ends up kind of just obviously killing her and acquiring the ability. Yeah. And maybe that kind of put me off.
She's always like viewed by others as like this martyr, or like this like just something to be sacrificed because oh, okay.
I love it.
Yeah, I agree, Irepen. Yeah, I would say that Porco's a very underrated character.
Yeah.
And the biggest reason why we were so into his character is because he was voiced by Kellen Goff.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, thank you for that, Lo. That was a very well-written response. Thank you. That was great.
Shout out to Lo.
I love that you took it in a different direction too. That was really great.
Louis just woke you up, dude.
I know. No, it's fine. Oh, and he's right back asleep.
Annie. No Annie love.
Annie? I know. Yeah, there's no Annie responses here. No one feels bad for her.
Nobody does. Even though, it's kind of like the storyline of like her.
She was
abandoned.
Raised to be a weapon. Yeah.
And then she ends up.
But also, everyone's got their. I mean, maybe some people's struggles are worse than others. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But thank you for that again, Lo. That was great.
Yes.
Next we have from friend of the show, I Am Storm, aka Heise TBH, joining us here in chat. That guy that just talked about adult Ymir being mommy. That dude. He says Rhina, because in that time he doesn't know if he's a warrior or a soldier. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. We talked about it. He's struggling with that.
Yeah, it's like how he says earlier, like he chose Rhina because of the identity crisis stuff. Because it's exactly how you like explained it earlier. With the whole like when you are trying so hard to be this big shot back home to get recognized from your mom, from your family, and then you are just so easily this big shot here in Parody where you're surrounded by enemies, but you're still trying to like, be incognito, play the role, and then we don't realize like how much that's actually affecting him until what we just reviewed last week where like, why is Marco being devoured? Like, dude, you are the cause of that. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. It's a very strange moment.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, totally agree, Heise. That was great. I'm glad him and his mom have closure in the last part. Oh, yeah, that was really, really nice to see. I totally agree. That was so nice to see. And I wasn't expecting it either. I totally was not expecting that to happen either. That was so nice. Finally, that she told him she
appreciated him for who he is, not
whether you have a power. Because his first response after there was this whole war going on that you thought you were gonna die, and your first thing that you say to your mom after you guys survived is, "I'm sorry, I don't have a power anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not powerful anymore." And her response is basically you don't need to have a Titan power to be special. You're special because you're my son. And like, I'm sorry I didn't say that to you sooner.
Exactly.
And that was such a touching, nice moment. But I feel like I didn't get to appreciate the weight of it because there was so much going on. But yeah, thank you again, Heise.
I think what frustrates me too about the ending is that we don't get to see what character like Rhina ends up doing with his life. You know?
Yeah, and I want to see like how healthy his family life is afterwards.
Yeah, I just want to see him try to find happiness, you know? He's going to be sad when he finds out that Historia is already essentially kind of taken.
Yeah, Historia gave birth to Aaron lookalike.
Yeah.
But
I would have loved to have seen what him and other characters, you know, end up doing for themselves in this new kind of like life that they've been given.
Yeah. I would have loved to see just give me all these spin-offs. Next we have from friend of the show, Hater Xenon, aka I Repent. Hello. Says Rhina, easy.
But it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy because you wanted to choose Zeke.
But I guess you thought it was going to be between those three, so I guess Rhina is probably the easy choice. Even though I'm surprised that we got some Bertholdts for sure.
I know. I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
I think it's because a lot of people see how empathetic he is and they see his heart. So.
Interesting. Well,
okay, cool.
So Josh kind of further explains, saying that I picked Rhina because he's someone who wants to be important, strong, and a leader so bad, but was dealt a bad hand. His mom Eldian and his dad Marlian getting told every day that if only we were Marlian. So he tried his hardest to become a warrior, but it was just so bad. But was just so bad at it. So when he finally arrived on Parody, he tried to be Marcel and gained his mental illness. But he goes, I would have picked Zeke though. Yeah. And yeah, and then even, this is interesting here, I like what even Jacob says here, is I really feel bad for Bertholdt when Armin is in the paths and just Bertholdt looks so tired.
Yeah. Yeah, he mentions it before where it's like he just looks like numb.
Yeah. Interesting, yeah. Right there, I missed it too. It was really sad seeing Armin talk to him in the last episode where he's looked so numb in the past. It's true. Exactly.
It was Bertholdt.
Bertholdt. Yeah. Beer.
I mean, basically, we don't even know what the correct spelling for his name is.
Barrel.
Yeah, Barrel told. That guy.
Yeah.
Birdie. But thank you for that. And thank you for your timely analysis and response.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Yeah. But I do really like your reasoning for Zeke. And I like that it's like a different pick, an out of the box pick. Yeah, I think your Zeke pick is really valid. And your response was so eloquently spoken. Thank you for that. And then last but not least, we have our final response for this Q&A, which is from user Celeste.R205. Hello, Celeste.
What's up?
Thank you for responding. They say Bertholdt. We're getting, honestly, majority is Bertholdt.
Yeah.
Some Bertholdt love.
That's surprising.
Actually, I think it's pretty even with Bertholdt and Rhina, actually.
Really?
Yeah, we have 3 Rhina and 3 Bertholdt. Yeah.
Except we have...
Or technically, we could omit that Rhina because he decided to pick Zeke instead.
That's true.
So
that means Bertholdt, right?
Bertholdt is the most pick.
And then also we did get one Marco from Laker for Life. So now we can go ahead and segue over to something that Marco is involved with.
Yeah.
And we'll see what the results are for this poll question, which I'm excited to see. And yes, Josh says no peak picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was just, I mean,
there's not enough that we saw from
Her hand wasn't as badly dealt as everyone else's.
We don't know. We don't know what it took for her to get to that point. We don't understand what she...
We don't see what her family her family feels about it, what her morality is towards it. But
yeah. So there's a lot that we didn't see from that character for sure.
We did see her crawl around on all fours.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you, Liquor for Life, for our perfect segue into the poll question, which is, which character was the worst wrong place, wrong time death?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have...
What are our options?
4 options. One of them is Marco Bot. So sad. Then we have another, which is Mike Zacharias.
Yeah.
And then another one, which is Marcel Galliard, which Lo very nicely explained why that is such a sad wrong place, wrong time. And then lastly, an option is Willie Tiber.
Yeah. And then there was other characters we kind of potentially thought about, but we felt like these were a good group of characters that were kind of, again, just dealt a bad hand and didn't really have much of a chance to really go ahead and fight, you know?
Yeah. More people that are dealt bad hands.
Yeah. We'll get to your question real quick, Jacob, after the results, but that is an interesting kind of revelation for sure.
You're making me think.
So
but I will say that 3 of the answers are all super close. There is no outgoing vote getter.
Okay.
They're all super close.
Okay.
There is definitely a loser, but there are no big old vote getters.
So have us start with the one that was the least vote getter.
So the least vote getter with 3%, almost no votes at all, is Willie Tiber.
Willie Tiber.
I think it's because we don't really empathize with him a whole lot. So we're like, yeah, it sucks that he was on that stage when Aaron just emerged out of it, but also
he was a wealthy guy who lived a good life.
Yeah, he lived a good life. So sorry, man.
Jacob says, I felt happy, Aaron. You know?
Actually, I was so hype. Actually, it was a really hype moment. It was really cool. So, but yeah, he's the least.
So we got the next 3 options are very close.
They're all super close.
So tell us all 3 of the percentages, and then you can go ahead and tell us from then what they are.
So starting from least to most in percentages, not saying
Don't
what
give
the names
anything
are.
away yet.
The percentages go from 28% to 33% to 36%.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
We had some good answers this time. We had some good options. Yes, I love when it's close like that. I love these close polls.
So what? Okay.
Who do you think is?
I'm trying to think.
Who do you think?
I think I know who the most is. So that means I got to go ahead and decide between these next 2.
Okay.
So at least I'm gonna go with. They're all M characters. I'm realizing too.
Yeah, they're all M's.
So the tragedy of the M's. I'm gonna go least to top. This is me. I'm thinking Marcel, Mike sandwiched in there, and then Marco's at the top. That's what I'm thinking. So give us who was the middle.
What if I told 30, you?
What are you going to tell me?
You are completely...
What?
Right.
Oh, I am?
You're completely right.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
So yeah, 28% is Marcel Galliard,
okay.
33% is Mike Zacharias, and 36% is Marco Bott.
Yes. I think that we all expected Marco to be the top vote getter because, again, that's just shit luck.
But I thought he was going to be like a lot by... Like the
by
top
landslide,
by a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very interesting.
WAJ! AJ!
There we go, guys. Do I not know my...
Yeah, you know your audience. You know your Attack on Titan.
I think that's
very qualified.
That is a great poll result for sure right there. I love it. I love how it's very, very kind of distributed, kind of somewhat evenly between characters that we obviously care about. I've mentioned...
Willie only got 1 vote.
Yeah, well, Willie's again, we don't relate with. And I want to ask, my friends here, would this have changed at all if we did add Carla to that list?
Yeah, that was another person we were thinking about adding.
We were thinking of adding Carla, and
but I eventually decided not to put her in there because of the final movie that we get. Because that it's like Aaron. Spoiler: Aaron explicitly says like I sent that Titan after my mom.
Yeah.
Instead of after Bertholdt. Which I mean, I guess then that means that it was predestined. Yeah. But yeah.
Josh says Carla was destined to die. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I didn't fully add her in there. Right place, right time. Oh my God. But yeah, she was. I do feel like she was destined to die for the sake of the story.
Carla who?
And Carla who? Yeah.
And then even just another characters. We were thinking about the idea of using plural as an option. Is the original Levi squad.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that would have changed the dynamic either, but they're also another group of characters that were essentially putting their trust in a plan, and they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time when it came to having to deal with a female Titan. And they were essentially blinded by, again, just trust and that everything was going to happen. But things don't go according to plan. And, I don't know. I don't know if that would have changed. Yeah, Levi Ackerman was a legend.
Hey, he's still a legend. He's just a wheelchair.
He's still out there,
He's over in a
wheelchair telling old war stories.
Yeah. Dude, like, you know that one old guy that's missing an eye?
You know,
All the kids are like, what's wrong with him?
I had an uncle who was known as Kenny the Ripper.
Yeah. And no one's going to believe him.
He's the one that trained me, taught me everything that I knew. And
he's going to be like,
he's going to be like, oh, there goes Grandpa Levi
like,
again.
Don't make eye contact. Keep walking.
Yeah.
Keep walking. Don't make eye contact.
There goes Grandpa Levi.
And he's gonna
I had a squad named the Levi Squad. It was after me.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they all went after the female Titan.
Yeah.
They all died, but you know what?
They all went after them.
There was one that I really cared about a lot. Her name was Petra. Oh, Petra. You know, she wrote me a letter one time. No, she didn't.
No, she didn't.
She wrote his dad a letter.
But he's gonna be that one person, be like, yeah, you know, when we first discovered, that Titans were, that Aaron Yeager was a Titan. I beat him up in front of everyone.
Yeah.
I beat him up real good in front of everyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, sure you did, Grandpa Levi.
Okay, Grandpa Levi.
All right, Grandpa Levi, where's your meds?
You know, I actually used to love a man who had one arm.
Yeah. He's in love with a man that has one arm.
You know, I admired him, but I always wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
But hey, again, the blimp.
Yeah, again.
Rico, you and your AOT women.
I killed his brother.
Yeah.
I killed the great war chief.
The great war chief of
He was
Marley.
happy to see me.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Just thinking about all the potential stories that Levi's going to be saying. It's like, wow, man.
So many.
Okay.
You know, I overthrew the government one time.
Yeah.
No, you did not, Grandpa Levi. Go back to bed.
Let's go back to bed. Very, very cool.
Surprised he still has such pearly white teeth.
Yeah. Well, he takes care of himself.
True.
You know, probably the only one that doesn't have
missing an eye, but he's still got all of his teeth for some reason.
Yeah. The only one with clean underwear.
Yeah. Shut up, Grandpa.
Shut up, Grandpa.
Grandpa, pass the milk.
Very, very cool.
He's gonna like have PTSD of like Titans.
He's gonna be that one grandpa who's just constantly trying to make sure everything is clean. He's the grandpa where it's like you go over and he's just like, not clean yet.
Yeah.
You got to keep cleaning.
All the kids are gonna go, Grandpa, take off your shoes. Take off your shoes. Do not step foot in here. Take off your shoes. Dust yourself off. Mm-hmm. Fake teeth, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Yeah, he's gonna be that grandpa with PTSD. There's gonna be like a nice, big, bright firework to like celebrate something, and he's gonna swear like, "There's a transformation! Someone's transforming!" And he's gonna get ready to. He's gonna have ODM gear attached to his wheelchair. Oh, Levi.
The boosters attached to his wheelchair.
I know. Yeah, that's gonna be Grandpa Levi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am not surprised that Marco was on top. I am surprised that he's only one vote away from Mike.
Well, Mike is another character where it's like when you get described as second only to Levi, you come across, you know, Levi's mortal enemy.
Yeah,
you know?
pretty much. Because it goes 10 votes for Marcel, 12 for Mike, 13 for Marco.
Wow, super close.
I know.
Wow.
And then Willie with 1. Shout out to that one person that voted Willie.
Shout out. Very cool. I love you brung up the ODM wheelchair.
Yeah, ODM wheelchair.
Yeah, he's got to be prepared at all times. You know, he's going to keep his head on a swivel for sure.
Of course.
There's no resting for Levi. Alrighty. Good stuff, guys. Thank you so much again for all the results. Appreciate it. This was a fun week for sure of Q&A responses as well as just poll results.
Who did you vote for?
Marco, come on.
For Marco.
You know my love for...
Yeah, you don't even need to explain that
for
one.
Mike. I think Mike is a character where he would definitely change the whole landscape of the story if he was alive, but there's no changing what Marco was able to do for these characters, you know, and how they felt internally and them being motivated
like
going
not
forward.
Just John, he motivated so many.
Yeah. And with Mike, I mean, he just makes a difference with his, you know, just strength and all that, you know, but Marco, if he's alive, he changes the storyline for a lot of characters, you know, and again, just thinking about how tragic it was, I mean, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely, you know? Wrong place, wrong time.
Because with him,
dude, you couldn't have shown up like 5 minutes later if they were done talking about, like, done exposing themselves.
And one thing too that I think even Kyron mentioned last week is like, I'm hearing that shit, I'm just leaving. You know, like
yeah, I'm not asking, I'm just leaving and immediately telling Levi.
But the thing with Marco, it also too, it adds more kind of like unfortunate feel to that fire is that like Marco was betrayed not by one, not by two, but by three people.
I know.
You know? And like
and all at times where he was like, Annie, help me, and she was like,
to see literally the hope just like wash away from his face when he realizes Annie's true, you know, allegiance. Then that was like, oh damn. That's when he realized he was screwed. You know, there's nothing he can do.
Poor guy.
Whereas with Mike, I mean, Mike was just essentially just, you know, he was stuck in a situation where they just came across, you know, the war chief. You know, it's more devastating with Marco because he actually had a relationship with these people. I have no idea, Jacob, if AOT Junior High is worth watching. I've not seen it.
The first like 2 episodes, and it's definitely not the same as AOT. It's got all the characters in it, but it's definitely more like, it's something I would throw on for like if I had kids around and I wanted to watch AOT. It's very, you know, kid friendly, very cutesy, and yeah, not something I'm super into, but if you're into that, then sure. But I'm not into the whole like cutesy stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for all who voted. Also, I voted Mike.
Mike?
Yeah.
Wow.
I voted Mike because I mean, I've talked about it a lot before on the podcast, but
I know you have a crush on Mike. We all know.
Yeah, I just love them big noses, man.
Yeah.
Them sniffers, but the good schnoz. But no, I've talked about it a lot before. Where Mike I think he would totally shift, like the way AOT played out if we had him. Because, oh my gosh, he was second only to Levi.
Yeah.
And we barely saw anything from him. It just happened to be that he was in the wrong place, wrong time with the war chief, Beast Titan, and just got absolutely owned by a tiny Titan with a big nose.
Yeah. Who's your second crush? Yeah.
Yeah, my second crush. Yeah. Duh. Yeah, and then we have cool. Erwin with his big old nose, and then Annie with her little nose bump. Okay, but yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you all for listening.
Yes, thank you. Thank you guys
and
so much.
And thank you all for voting.
Thank you.
Made it a good one.
Alrighty.
Tune in on Fridays and Saturdays.
Fridays and Saturdays.
For the Q&A and the poll.
Yes.
On our Instagram at Attack the Talk podcast.
Yeah.
I got distracted because I just saw Marco's beautiful drawing that he just did recently.
Cool. Shout out to Marco. Very, very cool.
Isn't that like amazing?
What is that from? Is that an original? What is it from?
I don't remember which anime it's from, but it's from an anime.
Ooh, Heist is into those big mouths. He goes, how about Peaks?
Her big mouth. All right.
Very cool, guys. All right. Well, thank you so much again, as Lexi mentioned, for all the results. We appreciate, again, just all the different insight, the different perspectives and all that stuff. It's good stuff. And I am a little shocked as to hear that you voted for Mike.
Yeah, I do
cool.
think that it was definitely wrong place, wrong time for Marco. I mean, yeah, because you saw how close it was. It was.
However, did any of our friends sway our decision making a little bit? Like Lo had an awesome response when it came to Porco. Does that sway you a little bit, or you still feel? Well, we're talking about something different now. I'm sorry, I'm blending the two. Yeah. But in terms of like who we feel for, but I
will say, yeah. When it comes to the Q&A, Lo had a great response that definitely swayed my view a little bit.
Did we talk about who we felt for?
No, we did not.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know who my answer. I don't even know what my answer is.
For me, I'm thinking Rhina. Because of, just him and how he's struggling with so much. But there was a lot of Bertholdt responses where I'm like, that's right. You know what? I mean, maybe had we learned more about Bertholdt, I'd feel that way. But man, Lo had a great response when it came to, Porco. And it's like, it's so true because Porco's someone where, he obviously was supposed to be there. He obviously was qualified and his brother was looking out for him and he lost his brother. And again, it was just a very kind of terrible, turning of events for sure.
I think I feel the most for Okay, I decided. I feel the most for oh yes, I'm gonna get to that question. Wait, I feel the most for Bertholdt, for all the reasons that our lovely listener said, but also I'm gonna add in another reasoning. He gets to watch the guy that stole his Titan also steal his girl.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level of like psychological.
Well, he's living now vicariously through Armin.
I don't know if vicariously is the word I would use, but he's definitely he's doing something through Armin.
Yeah. He's crying.
Yeah. He's in the pads just being numb.
All right, so Jacob wants to know what the hell happened to Onion Capone.
Dude, I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't either. No clue.
Do some research?
We know that he's alive.
Yeah, he
survived that plane crash, and well, it's not even a crash, more just a landing, very bumpy landing. And he came across those Marlians. Came across the military. Onion Capone was stuck kind of in the middle of all that, but he survived. And I think don't we see him with what's her name, Yelena?
Yeah, Yelena. This is weird. I'm getting a different. It must go down.
It's saying Onion Capone is dead. Okay.
It is actually.
What?
I'm getting different answers. I don't know if it's different in the manga, but it says that.
Did he turn into a Titan?
Flock decides to have Onion Capone and Yelena publicly executed, but Flock dies, and.
Well, he decides to, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, so I'm like, where. Also, Onion Capone means the Great One.
The Great One. Shout out.
That's what that means. The Great One. What happens to him? Okay. Wow, guys, you can tell we're such huge fans. Okay, status, alive.
Yes.
We know he's alive. We don't really know what happens to him, though.
That's all we need to know. He's alive.
Yeah.
There's a lot we don't know what happened to these characters because we don't see it. That's why I'm so mad.
They just have to figure out what the heck to do with Wow, this is interesting. On the Attack on Titan wiki, they have an appearance section that says Onion Capone is a brown-skinned man with black hair, styled in a short crew cut and thin eyebrows. He appears to be well built, as seen by his large arms and shoulders. All right, who's writing these?
Yeah.
Someone has a crush on Onion Capone. History, story.
Got you, my friend.
Historia.
So Onion Capone is alive.
You missed it.
It's good. It's good to
LA
know.
Rams X One Piece Day.
Oh, did they?
I
Wow.
guess the Rams did a One Piece Day.
Oh, One Piece. Cool. Shout out.
Whatever, man. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Man,
but
Lex,
we know
we
he's
can't go
alive.
to one episode without talking about One Piece, son. I'm kidding.
I know. This time it was me, huh?
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Dang, I thought we would
I talked about One Piece earlier.
Not having a... Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Whatever.
You weren't here. Yeah.
Thanks for doing it while I wasn't here.
Yeah. All right, guys. Very cool. I think we can go ahead and now just recap.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We kind of talked about it a little bit already, but pretty much what we need to know is that Marco was dealt a bad hand. And what I mean by that is that he stumbled upon two allies talking about being Titans, talking about turning into their Titan to save Eren, talking about one of them creating the hole in the wall. And then they go after poor Marco. Poor Marco. Why? Because he's too bright. He's too smart.
P-A-R-T. Why?
Yeah,
You guys know where that's from. You're a real one.
It was not a party at all. But Marco was murdered.
I know.
He was murdered by his squad. And that is because he found out the truth.
That their loyalty is not to them. I mean, their loyalty is not to him.
Yeah, exactly. And then what ends up happening afterwards is we see a conversation being had between Bertholdt and Reina, and then it's a very strange conversation, but it's them kind of essentially preparing themselves for what's to come. That is the scouts' arrival. They understand that they're going to be in separate places, and Reina kind of tells them, like, look, dude, don't be afraid to go out there and just act instead of just like waiting.
Yeah.
Like, you don't always have to wait for a signal. You know, and then he tells them all this blah blah stuff about, you know, afterwards we'll go ahead and save your beloved. Blah blah blah. Obviously like, talking about Annie.
What are you talking about?
And then they prepare to go ahead and do their missions. Their separate missions, and that's where we're gonna pick up off of. We're gonna
pick up from.
Pick up from.
This
is where we're gonna start.
Sunday, and it's the end of the week.
I don't know why right now I just hit like an absolute wall.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's wall Maria, wall Cena or Rose.
I don't know which wall it is, but
one of them is making me tired.
It is a Sunday, and it is perfect nap time. Around noon on a Sunday.
Don't say that word too loudly.
It's because of
I know Blue's bringing us that nap vibe.
It's right because now. Blue is just napping like he pays rent right now.
Yeah. Wall Cena Rose. Yeah. Wall John Cena.
Wall John Cena.
But anyways, guys. So there's the recap. What we need to understand is that Rhina's not in the best shape right now because Thunder Spears did their damage, and so it's something where Bertholdt is very, very kind of unaware of. As a matter of fact, we're gonna start by Beryl being in the Bertholdt.
Yeah, Beryl being in a Bertholdt.
So,
oh gosh, I can't wait for us to start saying lines. It's gonna obviously sound so good.
We got it. So now, without further ado, we're gonna begin this episode. This is gonna be part 2 of our episode breakdown and discussion. This is season 3, episode 15, Descent. And let's do this.
All right.
Sorry. Get these bad boys on.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I did that too.
Okay. I don't think he cares. Look at him.
All right. Here we go. So we continue the episode as we see Bertholdt waiting inside of a barrel, trying to listen to what's happening around him. A concerned Bertholdt says, "It's been a while since I heard Rhina transform, but he still hasn't signaled. Why? Did something go wrong out there?" Meanwhile, we hear a Scout screaming out, "We did it!" as we see Rhina's exposed from his Titan body. And it appears that Rhina's face was blown off due to the Thunder Spears, as smoke surrounds his body. The Scout continues as they all celebrate. "We blew the bastard's head off! The armored Titan just bit the dust! We just sent him straight to hell! Good riddance!" And as the Scouts celebrate, we see Hanji and Levi squad members on a rooftop, not looking to be in a celebratory mood. As a matter of fact, Jean appears to be in a delusional state, not fully comprehending what the results show, as he says, "We just pulled it off. You were a serious pain in the ass for us. Serves you right, you scumbag." And as Jean tries to keep this facade of being happy of Rhina's death, he notices Connie and Sasha, as they aren't pretending. As a matter of fact, they're not happy at all. As a matter of fact, Jean hears them both crying. As Jean stares briefly, watching an emotional Taekwon duo, he appears to become annoyed as he lifts up Connie and Sasha from their collars, scolding them, saying, "What the hell are you crying for? Stop! Get up! We still have work to do! Don't cry for him! He would have done the same to us!" Well, as Jean scolds Connie and Sasha, we see Eren in his Titan form, on his knees, staring at Rhina's body in disbelief. But then, Hanji gets the attention of the Levi squad as she alerts.
"This isn't over! We'll hit him with another volley, just to be sure!"
She and Moblet begin walking away to make precautions. Meanwhile, Mikasa and Armin stare at Rhina. Mikasa asks Armin as she puts her hand on his shoulder,
"You okay?"
Armin, understanding the reality of the situation, responds, "I guess so. It's not like we could negotiate. Their side has the knowledge that makes us look just as ignorant as we are weak. We don't have the ability to capture someone who can turn into a Titan on a whim, which means there was nothing we can do." And as they both stare at Rhina, Mikasa gasps as she notices something. Mikasa notices Rhina's armored Titan slightly move its jaw. And then the armored titan unleashes a loud roar that is a cry for help. A sound similarly described by Sasha as a cornered animal screaming for its life. The roar sends trembles as scouts cover their ears in fear and panic. Eren, in his titan, stands back up to his feet, trying not to prepare for anything. The roar stops as Rhina's body slumps forward. A concerned Irvin says, "What's that?" And we see a concerned Captain Levi looking up towards the walls. And then we hear a loud galloping as the cart titan runs now to be beside the beast titan. Now the cart titan is carrying barrels, as inside one of those barrels we know is Bertholdt, as Bertholdt prepares himself and says, "That's the signal. It's time." The beast titan grabs a hold of the barrel and then he launches it past the front wall. Commander Irvin and Captain Levi, they watch cautiously as the barrel soars past them. Inside the wall, Hanji orders to try to finish off the armor titan.
Use your thunder spears. If you want him dead, we'll have to destroy his whole body.
We see Armin in deep thought. Armin thinks and says to himself, "That scream just now, was it for Bertholdt?" And then Armin notices in the sky, something is headed their way. A worried Armin alerts Hanji. "Hanji, wait! We need to fall back for now. See that barrel? I'm sure Bertholdt's inside. If he transforms, we're done for." Inside the barrel, Bertholdt wonders. "Come on, Rhina. Hang in there. I'm coming."
Very similar to another scene where Rhina was on his last leg and had to, "Bertholdt!
Yeah, I had to cry for help.
Please save me!"
Yes, that was over at a different wall. Mm-hmm. And that was when, when they revealed themselves to be the traitors. And and then Rhina was trying to go ahead and capture Eren.
Yeah.
Bertholdt had already captured Ymir. Mm-hmm. But Eren put up a fight. He actually had Rhina in like a chokehold type thing, where he was stretching.
Jiu-jitsu moves.
He literally was going and bending his body to the point where his armor was breaking.
Like snapping, yeah.
And that's when he cried for help. And that's when Bertholdt came dropping from above, where we see that freaking ghastly look of him. Just, as he's exerting so much steam, his body is like essentially kind of like evaporating and decaying. So all we see is this kind of like skeletal face dropping.
Yeah, because it's just like built basically from like the bottom of the ribcage up.
Yeah. Bertholdt in a barrel.
But yeah, I'm not really surprised by Connie and by the Taekwondo's reaction.
Because we know they were hesitant to even do this to begin with.
Yeah, they were already very hesitant. They still went through with it. The fact that they really did think that he was dead and was crying, I'm not surprised. It is a very emotional thing to do, to kill someone who you thought was once like your comrade, like a big brother. Someone
that, for Connie, that I'm sure he was very much looking up to, Mm-hmm. But let's talk about Jean very, very quickly, because this is just like a persona that he's putting on, right?
Yeah, he's putting on a front for sure.
Because he's trying to go ahead and be...
He also was the person that was like, "Come on, guys, we said we would do it. We got to do it."
Yeah.
He's trying to be like a true soldier.
And I think that the reaction that we see from him, the first initial reaction where he's kind of like, he's kind of like, like we did it or whatever type stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, it's one of those kind of like, you could tell he's hiding how he really feels.
Yeah, there is some hesitancy there. But he's like, "Oh, wait, I can't react that way. I have to react in a different way." Yeah. So he just like blocks that part out in his mind.
Yeah. And then again, maybe he's just trying to be the leader that Marco wants him to be, Because
he's so relatable.
Yeah, exactly. But I just thought that was very interesting. And then again, with Jean trying to essentially, not trying, but he is, he is scolding Connie and Sasha for showing emotion. Mm-hmm. He's trying to reason it by saying like, look, essentially Rhina would do the same to us in a heartbeat. So don't feel for him. And again, Jean is right.
Yeah.
If it came down to it, Rhino for sure would go ahead and murder them.
Totally.
For the sake of just, you know, of getting the hell out of parody. Mm-hmm. And we see, you know, that he was willing to go the extent of just like, you know, what he did with Marco, you know?
Yeah.
So if push comes to shove, you know, and we see that Reina is this cornered animal, you know, he's going to go ahead and do drastic measures for sure. Mm-hmm. Which is why even we see Hanji is so adamant, like regardless of what she sees.
Responsible Hanji.
Yeah, you know, but she is like, I don't care. We need to go ahead and do another barrage and stuff, you know?
Because we need to be absolutely sure that he's dead. We can't risk it.
Yeah.
Because it's always that like premature celebration that always gets them.
And I understand because you go out there and you see the Titan, you know, who exposing the body of the actual user and stuff, and the user himself has his face like blown off. Mm-hmm. You would think that, all right, we killed him.
Yeah.
His brain's probably gone. You know, and all
but
that.
Also, like they don't like fully understand like how that all works.
Physics and everything.
Because even like Levi was like, dude, I put a knife through his neck and he's still alive. What the heck?
Yeah, exactly.
But you have the responsible Hanji being like, do it again. Another.
And Hanji is somebody who has really done her research to try to understand Titans, you know?
Like if I'm thinking, oh yeah, he's dead, and then I hear Hanji saying he might still be alive.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm going to believe her.
Yeah.
Because she is the one that's obsessed with Titans and their capabilities and all of that. So I would for sure trust her. And yeah, I said drastic times call for drastic measures.
And that drastic call was definitely to Bertie for sure. Yeah. Because he's in this barrel, he's just waiting. He's listening. He's trying to understand what's happening. And then he understands that he hasn't heard Reina in a while. Mm-hmm. So that's very, very concerning, right? But still...
That's why you hear Commander Irwin. Oh, was that...
Yeah. And then, but the thing is, though, is that he's waiting. He's waiting. He's waiting. And what did Reina essentially tell him in that conversation? Look. Mm-hmm. Just... Sometimes you don't have to wait.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You know? But he's still trying to give his friend the benefit of the doubt. But then Reina somehow again is able to go ahead and
signal
and go to that drastic measure, which Jacob is mentioning, and that is to just exert a freaking roar that sends shockwaves.
Healing to just the jaw, to just his jaw, his mouth, trying to be able to just roar.
And it works. And then we see the cart Titan react. Mm-hmm. Next thing we know, the Beast Titan launches the barrel, and then we see Captain Levi, Commander Irvin noticing. Now they're going to try to go ahead and have to plan accordingly. Mm-hmm. We're going to see, as again, Hanji, she wants to get the job done. So she's trying to go out there and really get her point across that, like, look, that we have to go out and just continue to do a barrage, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah, another volley, as she says.
Yeah. But I'm trying to see exactly where she said it. Because I know that she kind of... Yeah, she says, use your thunder spears. If we want him dead, we'll have to destroy his whole body. Mm-hmm. So that's what it was. She wants to destroy his whole body. However, Armin, again, is thinking about the scream. He obviously has heard that scream before. And then he sees the barrel in the sky.
The Bertholdt.
And he has to tell Hanji now, like, look, we need to wait. We need to go ahead and try to get to a safe distance because we've seen what the Colossal can do.
Nuke. That nuke is coming.
We've seen before what he's able to do just by transforming.
And might I say, what a throw. What a throw by Zeke.
Yeah.
Good job, Dr. Saver, however you taught him how to catch and throw, because you could tell that that's his favorite activity because he's so good at it.
Yeah, I mean, he is. One thing, though, I want to go ahead and kind of touch on really quickly is something that Armin actually mentioned, and that is about, and this is going to be important.
No negotiating.
This is going to be important, yeah, for the next part that we cover, but exactly. After Mikasa essentially sees Armin as just kind of like just staring at Ryan, and we could tell he has some thoughts on his mind.
And Mikasa trying to be being a good friend, you know? She's like, are you good?
She asks if you're okay, and then Armin,
you're spiraling, dude.
he tells her, like, look, like, we just couldn't negotiate. You know, their side, they have the knowledge that makes us look as ignorant as we are weak. We don't have the ability to capture Rhina, someone who can turn into a Titan.
Yeah. On a
So there's nothing that we could have done. And again, that's him just kind of like coming to grips with, how everything played out and stuff, because we understand that this is an emotional thing, having to go ahead and kill someone that you trusted, somebody you thought was an ally and stuff, especially someone who was, again, in terms of being a soldier, one of the best, So,
Dang.
But Armin, that's an important detail to take notice of. It's not like we could
Armin
negotiate.
Is thinking about we can't negotiate with them.
Yeah.
They're really powerful. Trying to think of what is the best way to go about this with the least amount of violence as possible. I feel like that's always Armin's thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, how do we go about winning without violence?
And we see that so often over in season 4.
Yes.
Where, again, someone who has now this destructive Titan ability doesn't want to use it. And he will only use it if it is
the last
only
resort absolutely needy.
As Jacob said, drastic times call for drastic measures. Exactly. If it is a drastic moment that requires me to go ahead and transform and take out whatever, people have, I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to listen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen.
I'm not going to have ears.
And again, it's just seeing these two characters in Armin and Bertholdt having this ability, the Colossal Titan, it's very, very destructive. Like it's something where it's in a way very I don't want to say heartbreaking, but like you could tell these are two characters that don't want this responsibility.
You feel for them for sure.
It's something where it's like, especially with Armin, because I know that Armin for me, like he's my favorite character in the anime, and also understanding him as a person, like for him to not want bloodshed and not want death and to have this ability that is all about that has got to be very difficult for him, But at the same time, if he didn't have it, he'd be dead.
He'd be dead, so...
But even with Bertholdt, like I wonder, because again, we've talked about how we don't understand fully Bertholdt's emotions a lot of times. So it's like, is Bertholdt also troubled with this ability? Is this ability that he never wanted, but it was kind of bestowed upon him? Is this something where it's like every time he transforms, does he feel so much guilt? So like I'm curious about him and his mental state, and we know that he's willing to go to drastic measures for his friend in Rhina. We understand that, but does it take a toll on him?
Yeah.
And we've seen him where there's been times.
Who I don't remember what username it was who said it, but they were like, yeah, I feel the most for Bertholdt because I feel like there's so much that we could dig really deep in his character, and we didn't see a whole lot of like his development and stuff. And yeah, I feel the same way. I'm really curious about how being such a destructive Titan really affects him.
Yeah, and it's stuff that we'll never get the answer to, of course, but it's just an interesting thought for sure. But so Armin wanting to negotiate is something that is important. And we've seen him do before in past moments, even as far back as, with Captain Kits, and him going out there and emerging from the smoke and saluting and then essentially trying to explain to them that he means no harm. This is an ally. He's willing to fight for the scouts, and I'm willing to go ahead and lay down my life to prove it to you guys and stuff, and obviously Kits is going to go ahead and go to that drastic measure. Thank you so much, Jacob, for that drastic measure comment. We're talking about it so much.
Now we're just going to bring it into every topic.
But thankfully, Pixis was able to go ahead and kind of calm those situations. Eddie, what is up, my friend? Welcome.
Hi, Eddie. Yo.
Yeah, we're talking about just a scene where Bertholdt is entering the walls and all that good stuff. No,
but even like also another like we have seen Armin negotiate a lot, because another example is like, I mean, given this was more manipulating than negotiating, but when they captured Eren and they had Rhino was running with having everyone protected in his little neck like this.
Yeah.
And then you had you just saw like Armin's eyes through the little crack in the fingers while Bertholdt hiding inside, just being like, what do you think Annie is doing right now while you guys are running away? How do you think she feels? Can you like, if only you could hear her screams from us torturing her, knowing. And I mean, I guess that is kind of a way of negotiation.
Yeah, it is definitely a tactic for sure.
Given it is manipulative, but it also is not so violent.
It also is something that obviously stuck with them, at least with Bertholdt, because Zeke had to go ahead and tell them last week's episode, that you really think that she's getting tortured.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. She's probably out there practicing her kicks, just just waiting and stuff, and all that. Like, it's definitely a negotiation tactic, for sure, like you said. But is it going to work again?
But Armin uses every bit of his smarts that he can. Like, this is a great example that he'll use any tactic he can that does not include violence.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, does not include, like, physical violence. The real Aaron has showed, a.k.a. Eddie Yeager.
Did we get Eddie's responses?
We did not get Eddie's responses.
I'm kind of curious that if you can, indulge us for the moment and have Lexi maybe tell you what the poll... Well, maybe... I'm sure he voted in the poll.
Yeah,
right?
I'm pretty sure he voted in the poll. But I would love to hear his Q&A.
But for the Q&A, tell Eddie the question. And Eddie, think about it and let us know what your response is. And maybe why.
Eddie, do you remember last week when Kyron was trying to cover up his accidental text? And he asked a very great question. He asked, which member of the Warrior Squad do you feel sorry for the most? And I would love to hear your response and hear your analysis on why you chose who you choose, because we got some really, really great answers, a couple out of the box answers too, which is really great. But I would love to hear.
So in terms of Titan Warrior, obviously we're talking about Ryan, Bertholdt, and Annie, but let's not exclude someone like Zeke.
Yeah.
Let's not exclude someone like Marcel, someone like
Porco, Peak, Falco, like any of those. Yeah. So
I'd be very, very interested to know, Eddie, as far as who you feel for the most and why you think that, they got, I don't know. Like, they got what? Dealt a bad hand or something? Or
yeah, that they got, dealt a bad hand.
But anyways, guys, let's continue on. Jacob says that he fought Aaron in the finale with the Colossal versus the Attack Colossal. Yeah.
That was payback for him beating him up as both as humans.
Mm-hmm. But we understand Aaron did it.
He did it to try to push them away. Which I'm so glad that was confirmed.
Yes.
Because we're all thinking, we're like, there's no way.
There's no way this is legit.
Yeah. I know why you get headaches. All right, man. Calm down. But, all right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this Bertholdt.
So, let's continue on now. So, as the barrel heads for Shiganshina, Commander Irvin tries to be a step ahead. Or I should say, Commander Irvin trying to be a step ahead. He acknowledges. He says, they got us. Inside Shiganshina, we see Hanji and the others desperately trying to stay clear of the barrel, as Hanji says,
shit! Everyone, move away from the armored titan! The colossal titan is falling toward us right now!
And Aaron in his titan body watches the barrel. Armin watches as he grows worried. No, even at this distance, we'll all be caught in the blast. We see the devastation that the colossal has caused in past transformations. Then we see Bertholdt as he prepares by looking out through the holes in the barrel. Ground's pretty close. It's now or never. I'll blow this whole place to hell. Bertholdt prepares to transform as he readies to bite down on his hand. But he freezes and he stops as he notices Rhina's damaged body. The scouts and Aaron continue to make their escape, taking full advantage of Bertholdt's hesitation. Bertholdt then jumps out of the barrel screaming, Rhina! Bertholdt lands on top of the armored's body, approaching Rhina's body. Are you? Bertholdt pauses as he examines Rhina's exploded face. No way. Bertholdt touches Rhina's chest, feeling for a pulse. What the? He's still alive. He must have transferred his consciousness through his entire nervous system. And then we see an example diagram of Rhina's brain transferred to his spine. We talked about it, but only as a last resort. To think that he would actually need to. It's hard to believe that they cornered you like this. Damn it. Rhina, I need you to do something for me. You're going to have to move just a little bit. And if you can't, then I'm sorry. Prepare for the worst. I'm ending this war. The scouts appear to have made it to a safe distance as they all watch cautiously. Hanji sighs as she prepares for a big task.
Here we go. Our mission's primary objective just fell straight into our laps. You could call this a stroke of luck.
Moblet notices something. Hey, look! Someone's coming our way! It's Bertholdt! We see Armin trying to think of something. And Hanji orders,
This plan is as follows. Armin, you take command of Levi's squad. Protect Aaron. Everyone else should come with me. We've got 2 targets to eliminate.
The scouts, they acknowledge their orders. But as Hanji advances, Armin needs to tell Hanji something. Hold on! A confused Hanji responds.
What? Why?
Armin explains. This is the only chance we'll get to negotiate. Armin takes off as Hanji and the others watch. Armin lands on a rooftop and yells out, Stop, Bertholdt! Just wait a minute. To be continued.
Wow, is he like suicidal? Why? What the heck, Armin?
Also, how scary does it have to be to see this person who we're trying to run away from using the ODM gear to get closer to you?
Speeding to you. Oh my gosh, it's like a life or death game of keep away.
Yeah.
Like, no! You're just like running with your like back arch. You're like, please don't touch me!
Yeah, because if
Oh
that
my
dude
God.
transforms, then guess what? You're caught in that storm. You're caught in that explosion for sure.
I'm gonna be running like Peak in the final when she's running down like one of the spine, or no, she's running down one of the Warhammer's like spears.
Yeah.
She's just like, okay. Oh my gosh, that is terrifying. You basically are seeing like a living nuke
Yeah, exactly. That's what it
falling
is.
down, and you're like, crap, if he explodes now, we're gonna die. But
Yeah.
then he sees how damaged Rhina is, hesitates, and yeah.
Well, one thing we should acknowledge first is something that Commander Irvin does to it, and he acknowledges. We understand Irvin, he tries to be ahead of his enemies, but he acknowledges, as he says, they got us. And I think obviously
That's like a first of like admitting basically of like a defeat from Commander Irwin.
Interesting. Jacob says, how about the people running away from the rumbling? Yeah, exactly. That's
Pretty much.
even worse.
Yeah, that's way worse.
But this is just a little taste of that.
Yeah. Just running away from a nuke that's like, when is he going to transform? When is he going to do it? When is he going to... And yeah, Armin is so smart. He hears the scream, he sees the barrel, and he's like, yeah, Hanji, that's Bertholdt. That's a nuke coming our way. Let's run away.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but again, this is very interesting to see Irvin go and acknowledge that that essentially Zeke got us. But we understand that Irvin's not going to go ahead and quit. But meanwhile, Hanji, she goes out there and she orders to go ahead and for everybody to get away. And what's interesting is that upon this whole new revelation here of what's happening, and Bertholdt now entering into this story, something that's interesting is that Hanji, she says like, all right, here we go. Like our mission's primary objective just fell into our laps, right? Like she says, you can call this a stroke of luck. Now she's
call it that.
referring to obviously the Colossal Titan, right?
Yeah. Being like, oh, cool, they're all here.
What kind of sick individual do you have to be to say the Colossal's arrival is a stroke of luck?
Yeah,
Is she just happy that
who's the sickest individual there?
Yeah.
Probably Hanji.
Is she just happy now that the Colossal's no longer in hiding?
I mean, yeah, because it is. I mean, that is a good thing. Him being in hiding was a big stressor, but also him being near you is also a big stressor.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess at that point, you know exactly where he's at because they also, in the last episode, they also were like, check all the buildings nearby. He could be hiding.
Yeah.
Because it's even more stressful walking past a building or just like standing on top of the roof of a building and thinking, dang, this nuke could be right under my feet right now.
Yeah.
But instead you see it flying in and you're like, okay, at least we know where it's at, but dang, is this thing coming in close? Let's get out of here.
Exactly.
And then, yeah.
Heise is also kind of a sick individual, as he wanted to see the 80% destruction. He's like, I wanted to see all the continents.
Oh my God.
All of it, the full thing. You want to see all of the destruction?
Oh my God.
Now that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, just turn on the news now. Unfortunately.
But with Bertholdt, I mean, yeah, we see Bertholdt now is taking it upon himself to go out there and kind of just end things, finally finish this. He says it's now or never. I'll blow this whole place to hell. But as you mentioned, Lex, he goes and he hesitates because he notices his ally not moving.
The crazy amount of damage.
And he goes and he checks on Rhina. He notices that Rhina's body is not in the best shape.
What did he say? He says something that's like he realizes like something about him being cornered.
Well, he's
about the transferring being a last resort.
Yeah, he says that he must have transferred his consciousness through his entire nervous system. We talked about it, but only as a last resort. To think that he would actually need to, it's hard to believe that they cornered you like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that is hard to believe. It
is, because that is the armored Titan. Like, how are they able to? And it seemed fairly fast too, because they already were prepared. They had their thunder spears. Rhina wasn't even expecting it, because even when they were surrounding him, he even was like, what are you guys gonna do?
Yeah. And obviously at this point, Bertholdt is not aware of the thunder spears. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Not to say that they would really go ahead and do damage to his body, but I mean, we never know. I'm sure they're gonna go ahead and do some kind of damage.
Getting struck by lightning is getting struck by lightning, man.
Yeah. But then now Rhina, I mean, again, Bertholdt takes it upon himself, because after seeing Rhina in this state, he's like, look, I need you to go ahead and do something. I need you to go ahead and move. Because if you can't, well, I'm sorry, but I'm ending this war.
Once and for all.
And this is kind of a different Bertholdt.
Yeah.
A Bertholdt who's taking,
like a very initiative, headstrong Bertholdt.
Yeah,
we don't usually see.
He's usually willing to go ahead and wait and react and wait for orders. No. Now he's taking it upon himself to go out there and get the job done. But we have one other sick individual who wants to actually try to reason with the nuke.
I know. Oh, he's so crazy. But that's why we love him, right?
So Armin, he's obviously tells Hanji that they need to go ahead and negotiate. They won't get another chance, right? Mm-mm. And this is because, as you mentioned before, that he's done that before. He has tried to negotiate with Bertholdt before. Mm-hmm. And in a weird way, it worked, because he was able to go ahead and kind of get into his mind.
Yeah.
Right?
He knows what makes him tick.
But we're going to see how it plays out this next time. I mean, we've seen it, how it plays out next time.
Yeah.
Right. But we'll go ahead and we'll see that next week.
Yes, please tune in next week.
And then that'll be fun for me, for the voicing and
how well
go between Bertholdt and Armin.
We'll see how well we can do it next week.
Yeah, interesting.
Because we are moving me out, but it should be fairly quick, because it's just one trip.
That's right. You are moving out, huh?
It's just one trip though, and then later that night, concert. You have plans?
Yeah. True.
We'll see, guys. check this Instagram story for updates.
Yeah.
Please.
So as far as next week goes, yeah, the podcast will probably be a different day. We'll have to figure out when.
Yeah, it probably won't be on a Sunday. And it won't be on Saturday.
We might have to do it on Friday. Would you be able to do late Friday? Probably not, huh?
I can. I mean, I get off work at 5, but I can leave like immediately at 5 though. That's actually my last day of work.
So Friday might be the day to do it. Because both of us have plans on Saturday and Sundays.
Mm-hmm. This Saturday, guys, I'm graduating.
Yeah.
I'm getting my bachelor's degree. Well, I'm not getting the degree, but I'm doing the ceremony so that I can get it.
So congratulations on that, Lex, for sure. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Lexi is graduating on Saturday.
It doesn't feel real. I've had people being like, "Oh, congrats! Are you ready for the next step of your life?" I'm like, "No,
I'm not."
Like, no, actually, I'm not done with school yet. I'm getting my master's, and they're like, "Oh, good for you. When are you doing that?" And I was like, "I'm going to take a year off. I need to take a year off."
Yeah.
But
You're still going to be involved, though, with volleyball and all that?
yeah, I'm still going to be coaching the men's team at my university. And then I'm thinking about actually taking this year. I mean, it's not really going to be a year off. I'm going to be working. And then I'm thinking about doing some internships.
Okay,
So I
cool.
can really update my resume so I can get some big girl jobs in my field.
Yeah.
Because
for
you need a lot of hours and a lot of
experience
to be able to really be a good athletic trainer. And I have to get another thing I have to do is I have to get my personal trainer certification. And yeah, I just have to be certified for a lot of stuff. So I got to work on that.
Here, Blue.
So it's not, I say it's a year off of school, but it's really not. It's kind of just like it's a year of experience. But yeah, I'm excited. And also extremely nervous, but we'll see. Heisa says that Aaron interview was it was so hyped up, and they just reused scenes. All I learned is he stopped bathing and he uses the sauna now.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard that it was just like, oh, this is it? Okay.
So that was it, huh?
I guess so.
All the hype.
I didn't watch it, but
It's the Beast Titan.
it's the Beast Titan. Yeah, he is definitely a beast.
See that, Blue Blue? You're a beast, huh?
An absolute.
He's like, get me off here. He is the Beast Titan.
No, he really is the beast.
So
Look at
much
him go.
destruction.
What a beast, man. Bet you can't throw like him though.
You got anything you want to say, Blue Blue? Nothing, huh? All right. I know you're tired.
Okay, all right,
Cranky,
all
get
right.
cranky, guys. Hey, let me down.
All right, man. Hey, Blue Blue, you have to wait till we're done closing for you to be able to get out. We got to finish closing.
But congratulations, Lex. That's awesome. That's awesome. A lot of hard work for sure. And
Yeah.
and then none of us are ever really ready for that next phase until it happens.
The second Flores to ever get a bachelor's.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, as far as we know.
As far as we know. Yeah, guys. So we'll continue on with
Thank you,
part
guys.
3. And that'll be the final part of this episode.
Yes.
We'll be split into 3 parts.
Where we get into the negotiation.
Yes. So now we'll go ahead and we'll kind of get to a close, guys. We'll do all that stuff. But yeah, also, again, as we mentioned, it's important, guys, to keep an eye on for next week's podcast episode. It'll probably be on a Friday, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, which means that...
Keep an eye on the Instagram story for that's where we be updating you guys. So
Which means that we might not have a poll question and a Q&A that we cover live, but we will still put one out there for you guys to go ahead and do results on, and we'll just have to maybe have a
you guys
twofer.
can talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. We might have a twofer for the following week.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, so that wraps up another episode of Attack to Talk. This is season 3 that we are covering. Remember, guys, new episode stream live on Twitch. And again, the time and the day will be determined. And we will update you guys over on the Instagram. Make sure you guys follow at Attack to Talk Podcast for all of your updates. New episodes are published. We try to get those published to you guys on Fridays. But again, get your updates over on Instagram. And check out the link tree, because if you guys are looking to watch us, there's all the different platforms that we're available on in that link tree. Yeah, all that good stuff. There's other stuff as well over in the link tree. Links to, again, our friend Erin, who is, going through a battle, and she has her GoFundMe there.
Oh,
So check that
actually,
out.
something I did yesterday that amidst all the madness, I went mini golfing with her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
It was a lot of fun.
How's she doing?
It was kind of fun seeing her like navigate how to like, because obviously we went to like a little like, I guess like amusement park, but it only had like one ride there. We went to golf and stuff, and the whole time we were just like, Karate Kid was filmed here.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny because we went with a couple of my friends and one of her friends that I haven't seen him in like 3 years, and she was like, I'm so excited to do the go-karts. And the whole time, like, our friend, his name's Nathan, he's like, you're not doing that. And she was like, what do you mean? He was like, no, you're not doing that. And she's like, I'm going to do it. I can drive fine. I can do it. And the only policy was that she needs to be able to like walk in to do it. Cause she had her motorized wheelchair there and her only, oh, hi, Bad Bat. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, Bad Bat?
What's up, Bad Bat? Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Went go-karting.
Yeah.
I got second place with my friends. And Luca accidentally rear-ended someone. And the seatbelt like goes over like this way and then attaches at your crotch. So when he rear-ended her super hard because the car in front of her stopped, then she rear-ended.
Went into his stomach?
Yeah. And he was hurting for a while. He goes, sorry, babe, we might not be able to have kids. I went, all right, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah,
and then we went mini golfing. Was a lot of fun. Nathan was a huge help for her because he would like carry around her wheelchair if it like couldn't go through the golf course because she would stand to golf and then it was funny because like obviously with ALS like it's hard to do fine motor stuff. So when obviously it's putting, so when she was trying to do it like sometimes it would like she would hit it either way too soft or way too hard. And we would just like go over to the other side and be like, oh no. And like hit it towards the hole and be like, wow, what a crazy bounce you had right there. Wow. And she's like, wow, that's crazy. My ball just happened to land right next to the hole. We're like, yeah, that's insane. But honestly, she beat me. So, there actually was a really funny moment. I'm so glad that like, she's still like, is so happy, makes the best out of all of her situations.
Yeah,
like there was a really funny moment though where there was like 5 steps to get up to the next hole, and you know we went up first. So Nathan went up first, trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna be up here to hold her hand when she needs to come up here, and then I was gonna walk up behind her, and oh my gosh, she walked up the stairs like nothing. Like she walked up the stairs so fast and like nothing even happened. Like normally she goes 1 step at a time. She was just like step. And like literally like me and Nathan were like, wow, you freaking liar. You did the steps so good, dude. And she was like, yeah, I don't know. I just was able to do it right now. And we're like, that was so fast. What the heck, you liar. And yeah, it was really nice to hang out with her and see her, and she was having a lot of fun. It was really cool. And yeah, Bad, I agree. It's so cool that she's so positive and has lots of good people around her to help her. Yeah, she was saying that. She was like, yeah, like, she was like, it's like I have a bunch of little assistants. Everyone is so nice to me and they're all like so caring. It was kind of a little event trying to get her out of the go-kart because you're basically sitting on the floor when you sit in a go-kart. Yeah. So you have to like carry her up, and then once she's up, she's fine. But it was a lot of fun, and it was kind of eventful. Her mom texted me and was like, can you take videos of her? Because I want to see how she like navigates around mini golfing. And I was like, of course. It was a lot of fun. Very cool. I'm excited to hang out with her. She's coming to my graduation, actually. Really? She's going to be there on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to see her on Saturday.
Yeah, so we'll see her on Saturday.
Yeah. It's awesome.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So go ahead and check out our link tree. It
has her GoFundMe.
Yeah, her GoFundMe is at the top of our link tree. Go ahead and help her out with all of the stuff that she's doing with her her situation with ALS. Check out her social medias, like her TikTok. She updates people there. Like she updates on like her travel, where she's like, oh yeah, let me rate how this airline is with treating people with ALS, or let me rate how this is, or her experience with stuff. And it's really cool. And I think I've already mentioned this before, but she's getting like a AI voice of her made. Yeah. For the eventuality when
she loses that.
Yeah, when she starts losing the function of her vocal cords. But it's going to be fine because it's going to sound just like her. And I think that's going to be super cool.
Yeah, and that just goes to show how far we've come, you know.
I know.
It's crazy.
Because like Stephen Hawking kind of did like the same-ish thing, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot better than Stephen Hawking's. But because Stephen Hawking also had ALS. But yeah, go ahead and check out her GoFundMe. She's a great, positive, beautiful person, in and out, and yeah, she's amazing. Go ahead and check that out. Go ahead and donate to her GoFundMe. And,
yeah, any way you guys can support would be awesome. All right, guys, let's talk about some merch. So you guys also know holidays are right there, guys.
Oh my gosh.
They're happening very, very quickly. I know that we're all doing our Christmas shopping.
I know you guys are all stressing out. You know, there's finals week going on, and then there's Christmas coming up, and then there's a whole lot of stuff going down.
So in the link tree, guys, there's a link that'll take you to an online store. And if you guys look in chat, our friend Jacob says code Lex, and that is exactly right, Jacob.
Thank you.
And that code will help you get a discount on your purchase order. And guess what? That store is called Fandomion. That's right. Fandomion. Check it out, guys, for sure. There's a lot. There's so much in there. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's crazy how much stuff they have over there over Fandomion. But if you guys see something you like, we talk about it every single week. You know, you're adding some stuff to your cards. You go out there and like, okay, I'm gonna get this for someone. I'm gonna get this. Ooh, I want to get this for myself. Okay, here we go.
No, you're like, actually, I want this.
And then you go ahead.
Get you and your friend like matching T-shirts or something.
Yes, exactly. Well, before you go ahead and go through with that purchase order, Heisa says it's like Amazon for anime. There you go. Go ahead and use that code. Use that promo code, which is code LEX. LEX is the promo code for 10% off your guys' purchase order. And
like what Heisa said, it's like the Amazon for anime.
Yes, exactly.
And not even just anime, all pop culture stuff. All
it has a ton of different stuff. You know? Yeah. But again, guys, you use that code. It would really mean a lot to Lex because you guys are helping Lexi out whenever you guys use that code. And, you know, it's just something that we have available for you guys. Good luck with that. At least you don't have a table there to go ahead and have them kick out. But yeah, guys, Fandomion, click that link. It'll take you to the online store. You guys go ahead and do some browsing. See something you like and go ahead and buy some good stuff, guys. Let us know what you guys bought. That'd be cool. I understand also sometimes it's for, you know, presents. You don't have to tell us, you know, it's a surprise and stuff, you know. But yeah, shout out to Fandomion and shout out to Lex for having that promo code. The promo code is LEX, LEX.
LEX.
And of course, we want to talk about some art because we have some very, very artistic friends among us. And we mentioned Marco has an awesome piece that he drew over on his Instagram at Marco Mamone.
Yes.
Right? That's Marco.
MARC0MAMONE.
Yes. And we also have very, very creative friends for sure. Like, obviously, we had Eddie join us. Eddie has an art Instagram page at Art de Juan. Check that out, guys. Eddie also has a YouTube channel at Eddie Hinston. Yeah, we have our friend Caesar. You know, check out his Instagram at ArtofCesar, art_of_Caesar_. Check it out.
Wonder why that turned off. That was weird.
I don't know. Maybe it was blue.
Maybe.
But yeah, guys, check out all of our crazy just creative friends. Obviously, Kyron. I mean, Kyron's doing his thing out there with photography. Yeah. Go ahead and check that out.
Kyron improves so much every time I see a new like photo shoot that he's done. Yeah. It just looks so cool. He recently sent us one and it was really, really cool. It came out really good.
Yeah. And again, guys, pursue your creative aspirations. You know? We love it. We love to see you guys being creative, whether that be with drawing, whether that be with content creating, whether that be with writing, whatever it is. We love it. And we will shout you guys out, of course.
So he was chewing on the wire. He was trying to chase his tail and then the wire got in the way and he just started chewing it.
So just in closing, guys, I want to say that I'm so thankful for all of you guys again so much for your continuous support. We love you guys so much and it means the world to us. So you guys, again, just take the time out of you guys' precious weekends to just join us and just have us talk about an awesome anime, awesome characters. And, you know, it's just so much fun whenever you guys join us live. And man, it just really is a big part of my week to be able to go out there and just, again, experience this podcast with you guys. You guys
bring so much depth to like our discussions.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, this was a fun one where we were able to go and talk about an awesome poll question.
The poll and Q&A. I was so excited.
That was really, really cool. And again, thank you so much for your guys' responses and your feedback.
You guys always think about things that like I would never think of, like your out of the box answers and stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah, and
keep
of course,
doing it.
Look out for future Q&As. Look out for future poll questions because your feedback is needed and very much appreciated for sure. Shout out to the loyal listeners. You guys are awesome. We love you guys so much. The ones who listen to us every single week. And even if you guys do not join us live, if you guys go out there and watch us at a later time, again, it is so meaningful to us that you guys are really just supporting us and all that. And it's just an incredible thing. And we love you guys so much for it. And it's just an absolute honor that we're able to go ahead and just, again, experience this awesome just journey with you guys.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And if you guys just watch us at a later time, hey,
that's
join
cool
us
too.
Join us when we're live though sometimes. You
Yeah,
pop
that'd be
in and
cool
say
too.
hi.
I
It'd
would
be
love
really,
to
really
talk to
cool.
you
You
guys.
know, we love to go out there and have our friends join us and chat. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, you guys do mean a lot to us. You know, there's times where obviously, you know, I really am thinking about you guys whenever we go on a little bit of a break and stuff, you know that. And yeah, you guys mean a lot to us. So another fun episode, guys. I'm very, very thankful for you guys again. Shout out to the Attack to Talk Levi squad. Yeah, you feel good, right, Blue? You ready to get out of here?
He's just chewing on his own tail right now.
A little anxious, huh? So again, guys, I love you guys so much. Spread that love and positivity in this world. This world is an absolute crazy world that we live in, guys. And then let's just do our part by just trying to go out there and just smile, you know, just be happy, and then just spread that positivity. You never know how it might affect people around you. So let's just do our part, guys. You know that cliche saying that we say pretty much every single week? But that is, we hate, but we love. It's simple. And I, AJ, love you guys so much. And I'm very thankful for you guys. And I hope you guys have a great week. And again, we will most likely see you guys on Friday. So keep an eye on that. All right, guys. That's all I got for you guys. Again, much love. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a good week. As I just said, I'm just repeating myself, but goodbye, AOT fam. All love. Go ahead, Lexi. What do you got for our friends?
I meant to ask you guys, do you have a sunburn right now? Or are you always as hot?
Woo-hoo. All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Love you guys.